Hello, good morning. Are we on afternoon now? Again, before we get started, this event is being closed captioned, so if you need some hearing assistance, there are QR codes on both ends that you can take a picture with your phone and go right to the site, or you can go to 175.wisc.edu. All right. Good morning. Welcome. I'm Carla Vici, the Director of Tribal Relations here at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and I'm honored to be a part of today's special celebration of the gorgeous banners of Ho-Chunk design behind me. And it looks like the creator has made sure that we have the most perfect day to celebrate. Woo! And that said, it is still November, so I'm not going to press our luck very much, and I'm going to get this program moving and keep us moving right along. So at this time, I invite the Lake Delton Singers to offer a song in honor of this occasion. Please stand if you are able. Thank you, Lake Delton Singers. You may be seated. We've had one small change to the program. Traditional Chief Winishek had to stay home and attend to some duties, so we have asked one of Molly's relatives to come and offer a prayer on her behalf this morning. Paul Cloud, can you please join us at the podium?
나치니 가르게 보이노? Pechkerega Hengare no, it's a real name. And my number name is Paul I. Cloud. I served two nations when I was in the service. The first nation I served with was Native, our country. And the second nation I served with was the United States. They asked, give me some tobacco, and they asked me to say a couple words to the Creator. So bear with me for a couple of minutes. Mana make wanga ge hi achni wina chigeni gi kara tik shene he nana konge wani gina bjina jago pega wa onje hi per so shana page kerega hingai de no ha ege ham picture ege raju wani gina bji jage chinja wan ko sho she nu ko sho she unak pi kiri de xe jeske nigida jage shagra nik shangra pi unexte Jeske nigida, jeke nachi wangshigle ege jide, nachi uida karapuno, jeske wahaje. Dear Heavenly Father, Creator of all things, I come to you again on this most beautiful day you've given us. I thank you for the air. I thank you for the light, the dark. I thank you for the water. I thank you for the fire. And I thank you for Mother Earth. Because that's where we come from. We are Mother Earth. And at this time, I ask you to, for all the people that come here, I ask you to shed some light upon them, and that they come here and what we're doing in their minds and what they feel. I thank you very much for that, dear Heavenly Father. And at this time, I ask you for prayers for our elders, their aches and pains, their stumbling and all that. May they be free of that today. I ask you that at this time. And I ask you at this time for the children, wherever they're at, what they're doing. Keep them safe, dear Heavenly Father. And I ask you again that all the ones that are in war and that are trying to protect our country, I ask you to be with them and keep them safe. Don't let them get sick. And bring them home. I ask you this at this time. And at this time, I pray for all the ones that are suffering in mourn, that are having a lot of problems. I ask you at this time to help them out. And maybe at this time that they'll get up and they'll walk again. And I always never forget of our ones that are in a prison and that are hold hostages and the different things that they're in there for. I ask you to help them out. And I also ask you for all the ones that are got diabetes, the different things that they have, that you be with them and that you get them safe. And maybe at this time that follow the rules and they'll be out there again to enjoy their life. And at this time, I ask you to shed some light upon the people that sponsored this doings we're doing here right now, and that you be with them and their families, and that things will work out good for them. I ask you this at this time. And I also ask you for our drum. It is the heartbeat of life, and that when we sing these songs, we sing them to our Creator, and we sing them for the people. And make them feel good. I ask you this at this time. Me, myself, I'm try to be real humble and not to go out and get flashy, dear Heavenly Father. And I ask you at this time to shed some blessings on me and my companion, and that everything will be all right for us. And dear Heavenly Father, there's a lot of things that are going on in this world, and I always ask you for peace. And I always ask you for this weather. Give us what we need, but don't let it be bad on. And dear Heavenly Father, I ask you this at this time. Hey, skekche.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce Chancellor Jennifer Mnookin. I'm very proud to be a part of her team From the very first day I met her, she has expressed her desire to learn as much as she can about Wisconsin's Native nations, and more importantly, she has demonstrated her commitment to student success, Native student success, as well as to a collaborative relationship with Wisconsin's Native nations. Please join me in welcoming Chancellor Jennifer Mnookin.
Thank you so much, Carla, and it's a real pleasure to work with you and to learn from you. And thanks also to the Lake Delton Singers and to President Green Deere, whom we'll hear from next, I think. And I also want to say an especially warm welcome to Judge Joanne Jones, a woman of extraordinary accomplishment as a jurist, a 3-time UW-Madison alumna, and the first female president of the Ho-Chunk Nation. So thank you for being here as well, Judge Jones. And to all of you on this stunningly beautiful fall day, welcome. Thank you for being here on this beautiful afternoon. A little chilly, but really just right, I think, as we celebrate these remarkable works of art that grew, like so many great ideas, from a conversation between two people. People from different places with different backgrounds and different skills, but with a mutual understanding of the importance of symbols and imagery and colors and the ways that these could be brought together to tell a story in a way that's unforgettable. And two people who brought with them a mutual passion for the ancient arts of textile and beadwork. One of those was doctoral candidate Molli Pauliot, who wanted to create something meaningful that would honor the Ho-Chunk Nation, of which she is a member, and would remind us, as we celebrate the university's 175th anniversary, of the important place of the Ho-Chunk in our past, our present, and our future. Professor Marianne Fairbanks asked good questions and brought her experience in textiles to the project. And then the two of them recruited Professor Stephen Hilyard, who brought 3D animation into the mix to create the effect of 160,000 small beads on these beautiful banners. Molli, Marianne, and Stephen, I'm so honored to recognize your wonderful collaboration that has given us this amazing work of art. Thank you. The title of this piece, Seed by Seed, reminds us that the work we're doing to acknowledge that this university sits on the ancestral homeland of the Ho-Chunk people, who were forcibly removed from this place. And it reminds us of our ongoing responsibilities to move our campus community from ignorance to awareness. And that can't be confined to a day, a month, or even a year. It's the work of a lifetime. But seed by seed, I am proud of the seeds that we're planting together, including this year. Through the beautiful sculptures we've installed on our campus by Ho-Chunk artists Ken Lewis and Truman Lowe. Through our greatly expanded First Nations cultural landscape tour. Through our Elder in Residence program. And through our commitment to improving access to UW-Madison for Native students and helping them feel a stronger sense of belonging here. We still, I know, have a lot of work to do before every person feels that this university is for them, before they can necessarily see themselves here and thrive here. But we are making progress. And it will take each of these seeds and many more for us to grow a stronger future together. And I am committed to working in partnership to doing that. I'm grateful to the Ho-Chunk people and their leaders, and to the leaders of the Native nations across this great state who've been very generous with their time and their willingness to share their teachings and their ways of being with me and this campus. And so I wear proudly this gift from the Ho-Chunk to celebrate too, Bucky and the Ho-Chunk together. I hope to demonstrate in small ways and bigger ones that we will put those teachings to good use, to honor the sacred history of the Ho-Chunk people who lived and flourished on this land for thousands of years before the university was built, starting 175 years ago. So thank you all Thank you all for being here today, and a particular thank you to the artists who have shown us how one conversation can lead to further collaboration and to lead to something momentous, beautiful, and special. And so pinagigi to you all. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Chancellor Mnookin. UW-Madison is grateful for the special relationship we have with the Ho-Chunk Nation and our state's other Native nations. Today, we are joined by several members of the Ho-Chunk Nation legislature. I'd like to ask them to please stand and be recognized. I've known our next speaker, President John Green Deere, for many years, but I think there is one story that really exemplifies the person that he is. Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. Earlier this year, as the Ho-Chunk Nation's tribal elections approached, my friend John here was busy being the best health and wellness coordinator possible, hunting, making maple syrup, distributing healthy traditional meals to elders, and taking care of his community. But seeing a need for change, many people asked him to run for president. He was really hesitant because he's been president once before, but they continued to ask and encourage, and eventually he became a write-in candidate. And as a write-in candidate, he won the tribe's primary election, beating 10 other candidates as a write-in. I think that speaks volumes as to the kind of leader and person that President John Green Deere is. Please join me in welcoming President Green Deere.
E wo jokini na ichakodo niwi na hanachi ni kadagiwi. E hoji shani ichakodo hada ware hi kada shire de gewanje. E hampa de hichakodo hada jegi hi washi gida hiki shikshana eske ga hanja pinchti. E choni na hi dego hada de wank na wana anaga hi de hada wako penny katte de hongi da ge hana kuna gi pieske jeske ge wayanap ji wahaje. Maikate hoit era honkshana. Good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing? You guys are exciting. I'm actually getting paid right now, so I'm pretty excited right now. I'm on the clock. Thank you for joining us for this wonderful celebration. I want to take an extra moment to honor our legislative members. Everything that is the Ho-Chunk Nation today is done by my legislative colleagues here. So we have the executive and legislative branch here. We are conducting business very in close proximity here. So I want to take an extra special thank you to have them come out here. Also, President Joanne Jones. I think nothing can be said anymore that she got the ball rolling in '94. Well, even before that. So even some of these pictures when we got started, there's little Joanne right there along with all the business. So I don't mean to steal her fire, but when you're a young college student and you're looking at tribal leaders, these are the people that come up, and then all of a sudden you're walking shoulder to shoulder with the people that all you can ever do was study and hear about, and so that's really humbling. Today we're here because our friend Molly is a master of creation. She's very brilliant to begin with. She's helped our nation out in many caveats, but went off to pursue her doctorate and became quite the study, a contributor, people that have given constructive criticism along the way, and demonstrating her leadership in other capacities. What you see here behind you is more than just a mural, more than just banners. It speaks volumes to our history, our clan system, our culture, our upper and lower clans. You see the green and the blue representing the earth and the water and the sky. We all we come from these, and we all have certain roles. She is a member of our Buffalo clan, the speakers of our people. These are the people that have every right to speak on behalf of our people. As a Deer, I can speak on behalf of our upper clans. Our upper clans are our caretakers. I am a part of our earth. They call it hikaroke hara mangara hirakara kikjeheske. We are there to take care of our Mother Earth, take care of this land. everything beneath you, as the Chancellor has mentioned. Before all the buildings, the sidewalks, and all the artistry that took place was our village, our land, and we no longer have to justify our existence in this area. So what we've done over the course of years is developed and nurtured our relationships so that we could coexist both historically and culturally, and also in a contemporary fashion, so that we could host, in excess of 40, 50,000 students on campus and have commerce and still be able to recognize the cultural landscape that we still have here today. It is because of folks like Chancellor Mnookin, all the way back to President Jones, to a lot of folks that saw this a long time ago. The partnerships are very rich, and they are continuing to grow. As a matter of fact, Chancellor Mnookin gave me free parking anywhere on campus, and so I'm pretty excited about that's a big step. I'm only one person, and I'm very excited. I kind of parked right on the curb over here, so what are they going to do? I know the Chancellor. So today is a mark of beauty, a mark of excellence for our people, not just for those who are coming by to see the viewscapes of our beautiful campus here on Madison, but also for a lot of our Indigenous people who like to see a little bit of themselves where they used to be, the history that we have here, the things that we were told, the stories that have been passed along, to come to a place that has been so modernized, but yet see these caveats of our own history, our own culture, and see that people today, that we haven't lost our cultural chivalry. We protected our landscapes, our viewscapes, and we've been working together with partnerships to continue those going on. The Chancellor has more than extended herself, not just to the Ho-Chunk Nation, but to all 11 federally recognized tribes in the state. This is a work in progress. It is a lifetime work. It is a legacy mission for Chancellor Mnookin, from her predecessors down to her, the people that are going to be following her. I can't express enough appreciation for Molly and the work that she's done. I have no idea what kind of work went into putting something like this together, but I will tell you, by looking at this and seeing our clans represented, seeing the art and every symbolism that is in there is deliberate and means something. And I'm so happy to see something like this and other things that have come along the way, such as our clan memorial, our fireplace behind Day Job, naming the residence hall Day Job, which I still think is way too nice for freshmen to be living in. But I lodged my complaint wherever it went. But I want to say thank you. I can do this in this little bit of space I have to say thank you on behalf of our Ho-Chunk people. There are 8,000 of us, nearly 8,000 of us, and families, mixed families that go along with this, that a day like today is absolutely historic. It is beautiful. It has been made just right. My relatives here with the drum are putting that in. We're sharing those songs and stories. I'm so glad that Carla didn't share that one story. I got a little nervous, but all right. Well, again, I want to say thank you for all you've done to show up. Shakwe aide shunoge jagu nigi shanaji ge hoich jiji orakiju eskege hiraji wianaga wayanap ji wahaje. Thank you, everyone.
So I'm not really sure which of the vice chancellors I need to direct this to, but please have President Green Deere's car brought back to the curb over here. Thank you, President Green Deere. Now to our guest of honor. I've been on campus since January, so not quite a year. And as the Chancellor said, this campus is built on Ho-Chunk ancestral land. And I am Oneida, not Ho-Chunk. But since I've been on campus, I have been very, very fortunate to have so many generous and thoughtful Ho-Chunk friends who have shared their stories and culture with me and many others. One of those friends is Molli Pauliot. I am grateful to have met her and count her among those who I look up to and who I look forward to spending time with. I think everyone knows when Molly's in the vicinity, we can all hear her laughing, her infectious laugh. We love it. And we love her talent and her dedication to her tribe, and her dedication to her culture knows no bounds. Please join me in welcoming Molli Pauliot.
My speech is scripted. Hello, everyone. I want to thank you for coming to Day Job today and sharing in the University of Wisconsin 175th banner design. Thank you, Carla, for introducing me. I have been asked to share the design process along with further explanation on the concepts in the design. The university accompanies the ancestral Ho-Chunk land, a place our nation has called Dejop since time immemorial. In an 1832 treaty, the Ho-Chunk were forced to cede this territory. This history of colonization informs the design and vision we had in our design process. I'd like Marianne and Stephen to join me. When we do these public talks, they have to come and stand with together, right? Because we all had a part to play in hours of work in this. As some of you may know, I have worked as a graduate fellow program assistant for Our Shared Future the past few years, and in this position, there have been several events that represents UW-Madison's commitment to respect the inherent sovereignty of the Ho-Chunk Nation. Our Shared Future is a process, not a land acknowledgement, and something to recite. It is a collective act of moving together from ignorance to awareness, an educational framework for posing questions, and an opportunity to celebrate Ho-Chunk people, as well as learn about the hard truths of our history with them. It is a challenge to educate ourselves and each other and create a better future together. The Ho-Chunk banner designs for the 175th anniversary is an example of the university's commitment and opportunity to learn more about the Ho-Chunk people. In this 175th anniversary, we have partnered together, myself, Marianne, and Stephen, to design banners that will hang on Bascom Hall that reflect the landscape of the Dejop-Madison area. Everything in the design has withstanded the past 200 years and is represented here today, including the Ho-Chunk clans. If you have been on the cultural landscape tour, you may already be aware of some of these objects in the design. The banner design is in the Ho-Chunk bandolero bag format. These bags were historically made during the winter. One bag would be traded worth one horse in trade. The designs used in the bag are from traditional Ho-Chunk beaded and woven designs, along with abstract landscape representations from the campus and Madison area. In the center panel is a thunderbird viewed directly across Lake Mendota on the North Shore, where the Ho-Chunk Chiefs clan had their village. There is a large thunderbird mound present on the landscape. Underneath the thunderbird, two water spirits representations sit above an abstract water triangle representation. There is a double water spirit mound located on Observatory Drive. The colors used are yellow for the sun, blue for the sky, green for the water, and red for the earth. The two outer panels are the four lakes in the Dejop area and the flowers that once covered the area. The colors for the outside panels are green for water and red, blue, and yellow for reflections from the water. Pink is a significant color representing the Chief clan, and red for the iconic University of Wisconsin red. The bandolero bag usually has beaded tabs located at the bottom. This design has tabs that feature symbols of the 12 Ho-Chunk clans: water spirit, snake, fish, elk, deer, wolf, bear, buffalo, thunderbird, eagle, hawk, and pigeon, with a floral beaded design. The two darts under the thunderbird are abstract beaded UWs in red. As you view the banners, I hope we all better understand the history of the campus, the Madison area, and appreciate how each one of us is now part of that story. It is my hope that this design be used more than just for these banners, and the university's indigenous students refer to them for a better understanding on the Ho-Chunk people, how the Ho-Chunk people are tied to this land and today still have a presence here on campus. I appreciate the work of Marianne and Stephen, and thank Marianne for contacting me and collaborating with me in such an iconic display of Ho-Chunk culture, and Stephen for bringing our vision to life with his experience with the computer software systems. That's all I got. Next, I will introduce Joanne Jones, a UW alumni from law school, the first female Ho-Chunk president, and the retired Ho-Chunk Nation judge. Also, I'd like to mention that we do have some current Ho-Chunk Nation judges with us, so you can see them in their robes. Her commitment to her community and the protection of the Ho-Chunk people through her work and cultural knowledge have assisted many of us here on campus. Judge Jones.
왕식 네이머나 히니크라게 보인 sometimes when they're introducing me like that, I think I'm looking at somebody else. But I want to thank the university and Jennifer and Molly and all those who had invited me to speak on this historic day. The recognition of the 175th anniversary of UW, University of Wisconsin. I also like to greet and recognize the UW officials that are here or could have been here, state officials, our legislature, our Ho-Chunk legislature, and all other Indian nations that are represented here. And a special greeting to my fellow, like I said, Ho-Chunks. And those who worked on those banners with Molly and Marianne Fairbanks and Stephen Hilyard. This place, Dejop and the surrounding areas, have a great significance for the Ho-Chunk people. And that is shown by the many mounds. Over 900 mounds were built here. There was an effigy mound once under Bascom Hall. And that's a story you might have heard. When I was a law student here at the law school, I walked up Bascom Hill, mad every day. Well, it's true, but I'm getting over it. Can't be mad all the time. But the reason I'm getting over it is that the Indian students that followed us are changing things. And so is this university. This event today recognizes our heritage and the land that we used to dwell on. And this land that's used as a university was pursuant to a 1937 treaty where we lost almost all of our land. We were a landless people. But somehow we survived over 9 removals. And we came back. So our people are resilient. And I'm happy to be a member of this group. The university also recognized our people through hiring Indian faculty like Truman Lowe, a brother, and now my son, Tom Jones, is a full professor here and is known across the nation as a well-known photographer of his people. Also here is Amanda White Eagle, a new director of the Law Center here. There are more and more to come, I hear. But the memory of Bascom Hall and the students that I was with, it was a time of marching up this damn hill. We were it seemed like we were always having something to grieve about, so we'd be marching up the hill, and it was the law students who led us. And I wanted to, and we'd be marching up this hill, and I'd be following after them. But these law students were from all different Indian nations. There was Doug Anderson, a Navajo, was a hasty fellow, and he was also became director. Jim Schlender, Lakota Ray, a lawyer also for his people. John Bodine, Lakota Ray, Barry Kittikon, Menominee, Henry Buffalo, Oneida, and Redcliffe, Ojibwe. There was also William Gardner, who now is AG of the Ho-Chunk Nation. Robert Gardner, a criminal lawyer. Sharon Cornelius, Oneida. Patty Brzezinski, Richard Monette, Ojibwe. Alicia LeCount, Joe Young, Potawatomi. Behind us came more. Jodine Lowe, Chris Goodwill, and there are more that I'm forgetting. So many of these lawyers returned to their people and to their nations and to other nations. They were the movers and shakers of their communities. We changed laws. We changed government. We changed constitutions. We changed agencies. And these all came from the University of Wisconsin. We as Indians came to learn and serve our communities and our people. We had in us a spirit that retained the Indian identity amidst all the obstacles and studies we had to take. And I remember a story. I was walking down this hill, and as I got down to Library Mall, there sits this Indian on a wall. He had his hair in braids. I believe he was Dakota. His name was Mike Yellowbird. He was a doctoral student in sociology. So there I was on my way to lunch, and he motioned me over. And as I walked by, and he said, "Let's go take over Bascom Hill." I laughed. I said, "Okay." So it's that kind of humor, too, that keeps us going as Indian students amidst all the obstacles and things we have to do and learn. So I'm saying that in closing, I learned a lot from this attendance here at the university. And my hopes for this university is that shared vision that you speak about. The future of this institution is that it stands for all citizens of the state, all the nations, Indian nations, and also I know this is a world-class university. And that there be development and centers to benefit all these Indian nations, all indigenous people, to create a better relationship, to uplift all the people of this world and this world community. Thank you.
Thank you for that. At this time, I'd like to invite Molly, Marianne, and Stephen up, and we'd like to present you with a token of our gratitude for all of your work and the education you are providing us today and the campus as a whole. So I'm going to get those blankets. Lake Delton. Thank you. You may be seated. And please join me for one more round of applause for Molly, Marianne, and Stephen. Finally, before we close, I'd like to acknowledge a few others who helped make this possible today, including Vice Chancellor for University Relations, Charlie Hoslett, who leads the 175th Anniversary Leadership Committee. The rest of the committee, of course, and all of those who worked to initiate this project. Trisha Nolan, Assistant Vice Chancellor for University Marketing, and her team, who actually worked to get the design on the building. I'd also like to take a moment, since it is National Native American Heritage Month, to thank the Indigenous Student Center Coalition for hosting many important and fun events this month. I encourage you all to visit their website, which is students.wisc.edu/Native November. There's a lot of events, and you can all participate in those. I'd also like to welcome to campus this year's Elder in Residence, Karen Washenwatek. Hi, Karen. I look forward to spending some time with you this year. And finally, thank you to Army veteran Ryan Green Deere for raising the Ho-Chunk Nation flag for us today. At this time, I invite the Lake Delton Singers to close us out with song. Please stand if you are able. Thank you all for coming.